One of the biggest myths in property is that every deal can be made to work. It really can't.
And from a design point of view, not every space is worth adapting, no matter how creative you are.
So as developers, the real skill isn't just spotting opportunities, it's knowing when a property, a layout, or even a process is going to cost you more than it's worth.
Because some homes don't have any value left to add, and some design problems are so expensive to fix that they wipe out any upgrade.
So guess what we're talking about in this episode? We're talking about deal breakers, the properties we wouldn't touch, the layouts we wouldn't try to save, and the situations where walking away is actually the smartest decision you're ever going to make. Welcome to Milesh Sadie Property Talks, where smart investments meet beautiful spaces.
And where we look at property decisions from both sides, strategy and design.
Let's go.
Let's go. So, are there any that you wouldn't touch? Or are you just like, yeah, God, bring them all my way?
So we all know I love the process.
I haven't heard you mention it.
So I think for me, there's probably 3 or 4 things which we can delve into a little bit more detail, which I think kind of overlap from a design perspective as well. So the first thing, which probably doesn't, is around the strategy. And shiny penny, right?
Yeah.
There's lots out there, loads of people selling you the dream. But as I've said once or twice, it's all about the strategy that you're looking to deploy. So if you're looking at doing buy-to-lets, is an SA going to work for you? Is a HMO going to work for you? Is looking at development going to work for you? Probably not. Okay. So with all due respect, stay in your lane and make sure it's aligned to what you want. So I think that, for me, is a deal breaker. Don't chase the shiny penny and don't look for something that doesn't fit your needs.
That's a really good one. I think that's a really good one, though, because I think it's really easy to be like, I know I'm doing the buy-to-lets, but look, that renovation project looks super fun. I could just jump in over there. But you're right. Then it's like all over the place and doesn't work.
I've seen it so much where people have 3, 4, 5 years down the line gone, how have I ended up here?
Yeah.
And they've been sold the dream.
Yeah.
But actually, which is all fine. Yeah. There's a place for all of that. But it doesn't line up to what they want.
Yeah.
And that's the risk. So that is a deal breaker.
Fine.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. I like it. Shall I go in? Then, oh, no, you're going to keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
And then,
it's the Milesh show today.
Area.
Okay.
So from my perspective, which I think will link to some of your stuff.
Hope so.
Non-desirable areas versus too desirable areas. Tell me your interpretation.
Oh, interesting. Non-desirable to too desirable. Okay, so you're saying non-desirable as in they are rubbish areas, no one wants to live there, so therefore it doesn't matter what you do to this property, no one is going to buy it. Right. Yes, okay. That is a fair point. And I think, 100%. There are those properties. I'm going to talk more properties specific, if you like, about that. Okay, well, I'm going to do it. There are those properties where they just can't be renovated. It doesn't matter really how much you think you're going to be able to carving up. The money isn't there. So if it's a bad area, for example, then throwing a load of money at it and making it look fantastic, it's still a rubbish area and no one wants to live there. So don't bother.
So high density of HMOs, people have views on that.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a desirable area if you're looking to flip something and the area might have a number of HMOs, social housing's another one. You know, there's a few different ex-council estates, that type of feel. Are you going to want to go in and lay out and spec the hell out of it?
Yeah.
And then price yourself out because the area doesn't demand that type of layout finish.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay. And my link to that, actually, you've just mentioned like an ex-council, but my other thing that I am wary of is the estates of new homes where all the homes look identical. Yeah. Because there really isn't anything you can do with them apart from change the decor. Like the layouts are what they are. It will be so expensive for you to start to knock them around and create different spaces within them. And often what happens is there's so many of them that every time a house goes on the market, it's competing with 3 or 4 of the same, identically the same.
And also price point.
Yeah.
So there'll be a
ceiling. Yeah, there is. There's definitely.
So isn't there something about you? Yeah. Isn't there something about new builds whereby you can extend, but it can't. The planning permission bit is much more relevant on a new build estate, i.e., you can't do much to the frontage of the house because it wouldn't be in keeping.
That's the truth.
So you might be able to go back or up or round, but you've then got to look at plot size and whether that's feasible or not.
That's what I was going to say.
Also, I think there's a timeline from it being built new to when that application can go in for alterations.
So lots of people like to buy them when they're brand new because obviously the whole thing is they're brand new and everything is not top spec on them really, but mid spec. Don't want to slag off the developers on them. But they're also often on a small plot, which does link me into one of mine, which, thank you, seamless, which is properties on small plots. Now, there's a caveat because inner city properties are often on small plots and there's obviously more money in those properties. So I'm not really including those. But if you are in, the areas of the countryside or outer towns and there's bigger plots, buying on a small plot, obviously limited to what you can do with it. You can only chop up the space you've got. You can't be extending it. There isn't space. So that would make me cautious.
Okay. So we talked about non-desirable.
Yes.
What about too desirable?
Yeah, you talk. No. Oh, okay, fine. Throwing back at me. Too desirable. Like we've already hit ceiling price on it. You've paid a lot of money to get that very desirable area.
Yeah. So it could be the new build estate.
Yes.
Too desirable, maybe stretching it a bit, but that whole concept of everything's the same.
Yeah.
There's no real opportunity to go more or add more to it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking name me a couple of high-end areas, like in London, for example, where the areas are too desirable and everything's been done to it.
Like Knightsbridge, for example, you're potentially not going to, unless you could really get a great deal.
Yeah. So worst house on the same street. I'm kind of saying the deal breaker is the opposite of that.
Yes.
The nicest house.
Yeah.
Good street.
But often what is hard in those areas is actually to find a property, like the worst house on the best street, because they've all been done.
Exactly.
So it's like, needle in a haystack situation, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've covered strategy, we've covered area.
Yeah.
What about the property itself?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bit to say.
Yeah, go
on. So just picking up on those desirable areas, desirable properties, it seems quite obvious, but I would never buy a property that's already done up because there's no value to be added, unless for some reason you got it at a steal for some reason that Milesh could cover, not me. But I would think, well, therefore, all the value's been added and I'm now paying for this top spec of a property. And linked to that, I wouldn't buy a property that has been done up badly because the money has still been spent to do it up, basically. So it doesn't matter whether I've walked in and gone, God, this could have been done better. It's already been done and we're paying a premium for that.
Yeah, so on the first point, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But on the second point, if it's been done up badly and you buy it at the right price to go again properly, then you could look at it.
If you could buy it at the right price.
But that's very situation dependent.
Yes.
On the vendors and what their position is.
Yes.
So, yeah, whilst it could put you off at the right price, it could be anything could be done, right?
100%. I mean, you could even argue that with a property that's renovated. If you got it at a steal for some reason, then fine, get it. But
that goes right back to why you're doing it.
Yeah.
What are you in it for?
Yes,
is it for income? So if you're looking to refurb and let out, and you look at your ROI on that, for example, versus a property that's already done up, that's kicking out the decent rental, then you've got to look at that.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to get in.
Yeah.
There's no work to do, so there's no time lag. Lending is going to be easier because you get a mortgage straight off versus getting bridging lending or private lending or whatever it may be. So actually, we're turning deal breaks into.
I know,
deals.
and I actually think that's probably why at the beginning when we first discussed talking about this, I thought, well, there aren't any. Like, there's always opportunities, and there are, but you have to look at all of the opportunities thoroughly and actually see, is there value to be added there?
Extra, you need to do extra what?
You have to do some due diligence. Just putting it out there. My other thing on that is I would look at a property that had been extended, but the layout was bad, because that's quite a good opportunity. Extensions are really expensive. So if the extension's already been created, but the internal layout was just a bit blur, if I could recarve up that space and create something brilliant, that would be a gift in a way, because it's actually going to save me the construction, the foundation costs, all of that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, could be done.
Could be done.
But this is where your eye looking at a property versus mine,
Yeah.
I might rule something out because I can't necessarily see that or haven't thought of that.
Yes.
Because you're right. There is value in the foundations, the external work being
Yeah.
done, if you just need to tweak some of the interiors.
Yes.
And that might be at the cost of some of the hard finishes.
Yes.
Potentially.
But we've already
But you
said
need to look at that.
I don't care about finishes. Only kidding.
You need a decent cushion, right?
I just need a cushion and a great layout, guys. That's all I need. Yeah, I agree. Linked to that, if I look at a property, and I was chatting about this earlier with Mike, but if I look at a property and the only extension I can do is quite small, I do question it, because there's a lot of money going in the ground and then the walls and the roof and the windows, etc. Regardless of how big it is, you've got that cost anyway. It just gets a bit more the bigger you get. So if it's a tiny extension that I can add, unless I really think it's going to make that layout inside.
Yeah. From a homeowner's
perspective.
From a homeowner's perspective, if that's really going to change their lives,
yeah, then I do it. Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, you'd support them with that.
Definitely.
But yeah, from a developer's angle,
yes,
is adding a 2 by 2 meter extension really going to give me something?
Yeah.
If it was upstairs and there was already a ground floor and you want to go out, then that could buy you another room.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's seriously worth.
And I think that's where it goes back to location as well, because if you're in more of a kind of inner city position, then you are probably looking at the smaller extensions anyway, and it tends to make sense. Rather than
HMO conversions are classic. A lot of people are doing like 3 to 7 beds or 4 to 8 beds or whatever it may be, but that extending out either onto an existing ground floor at the back or going to loft space, that's going to create 2 to 3 additional rooms, which means more income. And
I get that. And actually, I quite like a loft extension because they are probably one of the cheaper ways to add space. You've already got the roof there, so bang. Rather than a basement is incredibly costly.
Yeah, that for me would be a deal breaker.
Would you not? Like you wouldn't go near it?
Just with what's involved in keeping the water out, the ventilation, all of those things, particularly if it's going to be a habitable space, i.e. a bedroom, then you've got to consider all that. And if you're buying something with a basement in already, then you've really got to do your work on making sure that it's being done properly. Yeah. To avoid all of the things I've just said. Yeah. In the upkeep of it. Yeah.
I'm actually with you. I am very resistant. And even when we're in London, we've got a project at the moment actually in Hackney, and they have an existing basement, but they want to sort of triple it in size. And I'm really cautious about it because the thing is, once you go into a basement, you just don't know what you're going to find and really where you're going to end up. The cost is unbelievable. And if it's not going to really add value to your life, then really what's the point?
It needs a lot of specialists.
It does.
Engineers. To make sure that they're mitigating ventilation.
100%. Yeah. Are there properties with structural implications that you would be wary of?
It's my overarching thing is if it's bought at the right price, then no. But no.
Okay, good. Well, we've ticked that one. I have a bit of a thing on it. Only that, I mean, I'm actually with you. They don't put me off either. But I do think you need to have the right personality to be able to deal with that.
What was still?
Yeah, you've got really strong arm muscles. No, but it's very stressful because even if you've done your due diligence, there is still unknown costs when you have any issues structurally, whether that's foundations or, you know, you've got problems with movement or soil types or whatever. You have to be somebody who you can kind of deal with that process, go through it, understand that there's some unknowns, understand that you've got to pivot and change. And that isn't for everyone.
And it's picking your engineers.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. So, that would be my only thing on it. We've certainly had homes with all sorts of, it's almost like we only have take on homes that have problems. But they are stressful. They are definitely stressful. Milesh, more from you?
What more?
One more,
Just to
go.
wrap up.
Yeah.
I think people and process.
Interesting.
Can you work with the people that you've got?
Yeah,
It's a deal breaker.
it is. That's true.
I've had experience of working with people that I went with on trust of someone else,
Mm,
and I've got burnt
mm,
badly.
hmm
And so the whole working with the right people, like I can't stress enough.
Yeah.
So guess what? It's on us. It's on us to
Yes.
find the right people,
Yeah.
and how you qualify them, recommendations. You know, it's like builders are a classic, right?
Yes.
You can go and find 3 builders, but when I was first starting out, the first thing I used to say to people was, "Have you got any clients I can talk to about your
Yeah,
work?"
yeah.
And if I got radio silence,
Then move
they're
on.
not for me.
Yeah.
Was that?
And another big red flag for me is how quickly are they responding to any correspondence early on?
Yeah.
So if you're saying, can you come over at this time, and you don't hear back from them for a week, already that's a no.
That's
I'm out.
indicative of
Yeah.
what they may.
Yeah.
There's exceptions to
I
that.
know there is, but you want
as
to
a
know
rule,
that you are going to be getting some correspondence and you're, back quickly.
I think professionalism is key.
Yes, and honesty as well.
Yeah, having the right communication, actually being okay to talk about
Yes,
communication and
yeah.
how it's going to work
100%.
to make sure you're both aligned in the way you want to move forward. I think is really, really critical, and that's probably one thing that people don't do enough of.
Yeah.
It's okay. At the end of the day, it's we're the developers. It's our risk. It's our money.
Yeah.
And so, just by not asking a few difficult questions, could end up costing you a fair bit of cash over.
Definitely.
So,
Brilliant. Okay. So, in a nutshell, not every property is worth saving. And not every space is worth adapting. Knowing that early on can save you huge amounts of stress, time, and money.
And I think as developers, the skill is in not just about spotting them, but knowing when to walk away. Deal breakers aren't negative, they can actually protect you.
Absolutely. And the more experience you get, the quicker you are at recognizing that.
So hopefully you enjoyed the episode. It was really about avoiding the types of deals that can quietly drain your time, energy, and your returns.
Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe, share with someone who is analysing a deal right now, and let us know what you think in the comments. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.